#1 for a reason.
Continuing coverage on Chuckwalla National Monument, fresh off its designation by President Biden, advocates fear Chuckwalla's environmental protections could be cut as federal officials push for America to increase its energy production through drilling opportunities on federal lands. It's why Coachella Valley advocates and tribal leaders are planning to take a trip to Washington, D.C., hoping to convince lawmakers there that the monument is worth protecting. News Channel 3's Athena Drage has more on their concerns.
We moved from a position of offense to now defense, where we were fighting to preserve it, fighting to get it designated. And now we're fighting to keep it designated.
With new federal orders to increase America's energy output, advocates for the Chuckwalla National Monument fear it could be on the chopping block. That's because a new report from the Department of the Interior has ordered a review of public lands ideal for energy production, including national monuments.
The president issued various orders for an increase in fossil fuel energy production, timber production, and mining, and at the expense of public lands.
Linda Castro with Cal Wild says to her knowledge, Chuckwalla isn't optimal for natural resources, but she fears the area's critical habitats protecting endangered species could be in jeopardy.
About 2/3 of what is Chuckwalla National Monument has been designated well before the monument was designated as critical habitat for the desert tortoise.
Still, much is unknown as the department's internal review of these lands didn't meet its deadline. The Department of the Interior tells News Channel 3 they are still assessing the reports. It's why tribal leader Donald Medart Jr. is in Washington, D.C. now.
I'm currently here in Washington, D.C., and we had a meeting with the top officials in the Bureau of Land Management and asked them specifically for that report that was to be generated. And as of yet, they do not have the report to disseminate to the public.
He's hoping to remind officials of the cultural and environmental values the National Monument protects.
For the native people of the desert Southwest, we didn't only survive in these areas, we really thrived in these areas since time immemorial.
And it's not just him. Several Coachella Valley advocates are also planning their fight to Washington.
We need to get to the decision makers in D.C. and get their ear, because many of them don't know. To them, Chuckwalla is just a place on the map. We can bring it to life for them.
That was Athena Drage reporting, and we just received a statement from a group that opposed the Chuckwalla Monument, Blue Ribbon Coalition. Quote, the Chuckwalla National Monument was an unnecessary land grab that hurts off-roaders, campers, rockhounders, private property owners, and nearby communities like Blythe. Millions of acres of public lands have been made inaccessible for various forms of recreation by monument designations, and we hope the current administration will reopen our public lands for all Americans to enjoy. End quote.